Coming up, we have a very special edition of the DIS Unplugged where we are joined by Jess, creator of the Disney College program Frump Style, a spring 2013 adventure, DIS boards phenomenon, coming up on this edition of the DIS Unplugged. This is the DIS Unplugged, episode 636 for the week of August 6th, 2013. The DIS Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney World, Disneyland, and Disney Cruise Line vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Once again, welcome to the DIS Unplugged, everyone. We are recording here in the Bob Varley studio here in Orlando, Florida. I am Dustin West. I am your host, joined at the table this week by Sean Thompson, Jess.
Hi.
Teresa Eccles, Corey Martin, and back in the production nook we have Craig Williams, our associate producer.
Surrounded by computers.
Surrounded by computers. Well, once again, this is a very special episode, and we are joined by Jess. Thank you for joining us.
Of course. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, if you guys have been following along on the boards or following along on the show, we've been doing our top 10 threads every month on the DIS boards, and inevitably every month we come back around to Disney College program Frump Style, which has just been destroying it, and we have the creator, Jess, right here with us.
I'm here.
She's here, and we just wanted to have a nice little conversation about your thread, about the phenomenon that it's become, and we're lucky today to have. Most of us at the table, and including Craig, have been in the college program as well. So I think this conversation is going to kind of go in that direction. You know, talk about the college program, and then and what you've been doing in your thread as well.
And that's something great because we've been asked a lot about the college program. We've touched on it here and there, but never really had an entire segment about the college program. So This is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. So first thing we can do is just tell us a little bit about yourself. Yeah.
All right. I'm Jess, and I've loved Disney my entire life. Obviously, I've been going there since probably before I was 1 year old. And I found out about the college program probably when I was around 9 or 10. And that was more of my focus than, like, figuring out what college I wanted to go to. I was like, I need to do the college program. So once I got into college, like, you started up school, and it was always in the back of my head, I want to do the college program. And the fall of 2012, I just applied to see if I'd get my top roles, and I got Concierge, and here I am. So,
what do you mean your top roles?
You have the opportunity to choose what types of roles you want to do. There's a wide array of them. There, you can do like food and beverage, merchandise,
character
where you
want to be
exactly
within the parks or the
resorts.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, my top was Concierge, so I ended up getting that, and I was thrilled, and I was moving to Disney, and I'm still here, so it's been great.
Wow, so you've been a Disney fan for a while.
Yes,
since you were 1 year old. Wow.
Absolutely, grew up with it. And still growing up with it.
Yeah, I think we all kind of fit that bill. You know, we've been going to the parks for forever, and just in some way had to figure out how to get down here. Whether it was move down here, or for most of us was do the college program.
Yeah, it's the best way to get yourself down here and get your foot in the door and just kind of start. So
now, before we kind of go into what you've been doing with all your stories that you have here, I guess we wanted to just throw around some basic information on the college program. Talk about just an overview, the housing, the application process, all that kind of stuff. So, for me, I want to start with the application process. For me, they were still doing in-person interviews at that time. That was 2007. I don't know when that changed, but now it's just over the phone, I believe.
That was the same for me, and I did it in '97. I think I'm the vet here, and I even dug up the sign that I saw at LSU when I was walking through the halls. I saw this: Disney is coming to campus, and I'm like, wow. You must attend this presentation, February 20th, 1997, and that was an in-person interview that we had, and the rest is history.
What they used to do is gather a whole bunch, anybody interested in a classroom, give you the basic information, and then you would sign up for an interview date. At least for me, it was an interview. Like the next day would be your in-person interview, and you would do it in groups. But now, like I said, you're doing over the phone interview.
Right.
Yeah. So for me, it was a little different. It was kind of both. So a recruiter would come around to some colleges, but not to my school. I went to a really small school in Pennsylvania. So I got the option to do a phone interview. So it ended up being, I could choose. I think the closest one for me was Carlisle, but that's a few hours away. So,
Right. So now what they were doing, how I applied in 2012, obviously, you go online to DisneyCollegeProgram.com, and it says apply now. So you apply, fill out the application, and then you get a web-based interview first.
Yeah.
And you have to pass that. Then you get the phone interview, and then you wait.
The web-based interview is usually like, what kind of person do you think you are? Are you a neutral person? Are you an extreme person?
Yeah, they ask you things like, are you good at getting to places on time?
Yeah.
Like how, I don't know, like personality questions.
1 to 10.
see how you have to really try not to pass it.
Yeah, well, they have their standards kind of, so you got to answer honestly, obviously, and they take it from there.
And in my opinion, the absolute best resource for the application process, if you want to learn anything about that, is to go onto the DIS boards, go to the College Board.
Absolutely.
That's what I did for a year building up to mine.
Yeah.
Before anything like what you're doing exists, this was just everybody has questions. Did you get your phone interview yet, or what was it like? And just people helping out each other.
I remember it's almost like every season there's a group of people that are in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
And so you're all kind of
Absolutely.
talking to each other and like finding out where are you in the process? Have you heard back? Do you have your folder? All this kind of stuff. So it's cool to have a group of people to go along with that one.
Right, like I even went on Google, searched sample interview questions, and I answered them all myself. So when I had my phone interview, I had an idea in my head of what I was going to say.
Right.
So that helped a lot.
I'm not going to tell this story.
We interviewed. It was 3 of us at the same time. So we had 3 people, and we were all doing the same interview, and it was
In person, yeah.
in person, and it was so weird, like walking through the halls, like weeks later, the 2 other ones, they said, Did you hear back? I'm like, yeah, I got accepted. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, I felt so bad.
Yeah.
How long does it take once you've done your phone interview to get accepted?
It depends. I got my acceptance exactly 1 week after my phone interview.
Oh.
Wow.
But some people are waiting like 3 or 4 weeks. You can get pended, which pretty much you're just waiting. You have no idea. But
But if they don't want you, will they tell you right away, or are they going to make you wait, do you think?
I think it's still a waiting
depends.
process.
Still
yeah.
a-
Yeah.
You have to wait either way, pretty much. So, yeah.
Dang.
It's
It's a
the
little
longest wait
nerve-wracking.
of your life.
Yeah.
Go on. So, step 1, be a college student.
Yes,
Right.
that is.
That's the first step.
Even if
right?
you're just taking one class, you can still apply for
Okay,
the college
that was my
program.
next question. Do you have to be in college for any length of time?
I believe you're also eligible if you have just recently
I
graduated.
think
You
1 year
just have
after.
to be in college at the time of the
that's right,
application.
Graduated from college or from?
Right.
Okay.
So if you're a senior, second semester senior, and you graduate, then you can do the college program right after that.
Okay, so Grace is getting ready to go into college in the fall. That's my daughter.
Right.
So once she is actively in college,
First
then she can
semester.
apply.
Yeah.
First semester, then she can apply. Okay. All right.
Is she thinking about doing it?
She is, actually.
I
She
think-
should.
I think she
Oh
likes
yeah.
it.
So it'll get her out of the house, right? And she'll move away?
Exactly.
Okay. That's
All
awesome.
right.
It's even better, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a story. No.
Okay.
Well, you can't stop. You have to stop referencing it because now we all know.
I have a story. I'm not going to tell it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been accepted. You get a phone call or a letter or an
You
email?
get an email actually, and you have, I believe it was it 10 days that you have to accept it. So you decide.
They give you an offer or what?
Yeah, they say, congratulations, you've been accepted to the Disney College program. And then you view your offer letter, and it'll tell you what job that you got assigned to.
Not specific job, though. Just
Yeah,
your
you don't
role.
know your location.
Right.
It's just the role.
Yeah.
Department or role.
Right.
Right.
So
So
mine
you got-
said concierge.
And mine said merchandise, so you just get a basic idea of what you're going to
So
be doing.
they on your application you told them what role you wanted, right? You gave choices.
options.
Right. Well, how it works now is there's a web page during the application process, and it lists all of the roles that they have, and you put high interest, moderate interest, low interest, or no interest for
Okay.
each role. So they have an idea.
Okay.
If you put any sort of interest, you could be considered for it. So,
You want to keep it as specific as you.
Well, yeah, you have choices.
Right.
You know, my first was lifeguarding. The second, I think I chose attractions or something, and I got lifeguarding. I was very happy. I didn't know where I was going to be lifeguarding.
Could have been at a pool.
It could have been at a resort pool. It could have
Okay.
been, anywhere.
Water park, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
The ones that you tend to see people that if they don't get their top one, it's because they wanted to do entertainment. That's the hardest one
It
to
is.
get into.
Like
It involves an
Cinderella
audition
or-
and-
okay.
Yeah, any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, as a lifeguard, you would have to show some sort of credentials, right? Because I want to be a
it's
lifeguard. Never been in a pool before.
And a lot of people ask this. Even if you're certified through Red Cross or whatever, Disney still needs to train you and put you
Yep.
through their own
Okay,
process.
okay.
I had no lifeguarding experience beforehand. I told them I know how to swim and I can do this and that. But I had no experience beforehand. Disney trained me anyway through Ellis and Associates.
Okay. All
So
right.
yeah, you don't have to have an experience for lifeguarding.
Yeah, like the same goes with PhotoPass as well. That was my number one, and I didn't get it. I ended up in attractions, but then another girl that we were friends with, like she kind of knew how to work a camera. Like I could tell from her pictures when they were coming out all out of focus and blurry. That she wasn't great, and I hope that she doesn't watch this. But yeah, she got put in PhotoPass, and then there's me, who I went to school for video and photography, and I couldn't get in it. So even if you're not really knowledgeable of the subject you want to go into, doesn't mean that you're not going to get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, even if you're majoring in something, they are not necessarily going to place you in your field. So, but you can't once you get accepted and you get your offer, you can't switch roles or anything.
You can't?
No, it's one time. Like this is what you're offered. If you want it, take it. If not,
Even when you're already working, this is where you're.
Yeah.
for your college program. Yeah, you have to stay at your role throughout the
Okay,
entirety of
okay,
it.
okay.
So.
It's take it or leave it pretty much, because there's somebody else that's
Right.
going to take it if you don't.
Exactly. And even if you're not in your field necessarily, if you do want to work for the company or just to get Disney on your resume, you can have a good time no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
you're working with great people.
Right.
You are working at Disney World, so it's a good opportunity.
Now, do they still offer shadowing opportunities? I know, I was in graphic design. I'm lifeguarding, so I wasn't going to be designing, logos for Disney on college program.
Yeah.
But they did offer you an opportunity to shadow, like designers for Disney, like for the day or something. I forget if it was paid
if
or
you
not.
well, I'm not sure if they have specific ones for that particularly, but depending on who you meet and like your networking, you can get any meet and greet set up pretty much with any leader, or you just have to talk to people. That's
Right. It is what you make of it.
exactly. You have the opportunity to meet an incredible amount of people down there, but it just depends on how much you want to put into it. So.
Now that we've kind of covered the application process, unless you guys have any other questions, the other thing that's on that email or piece of paper that you get is your move-in date and getting ready to move into one of many different housing complexes that
Yay.
they have. And it's a really exciting day.
It is.
There's a lot
It
of
is
build-up.
a tiring day.
Yeah, you're signing your life away like 8 million times.
So it's an apartment?
Yes, it is.
Is it furnished? No?
Yes.
It's a furnished apartment.
You could go there and just bring some bed sheets, and you'd be all right.
You're all set. Yep.
Yeah.
Is it,
Furniture wise,
I wouldn't
pots and
recommend
pans.
that.
There's
Yeah.
no TVs, or at least there wasn't when I did.
is it fashionable
Yeah,
or
bring
is
a
it
stereo.
like trashy or what is it?
It's not trashy.
I live in Patterson, and it's the newest one. It's really nice.
Yeah.
So
How many options are there? When I did it, there was only Vista
there's
Way.
Vista. Yeah, there's Vista Way. That's the oldest one. Then Chatham Square, Patterson Court, and then the Commons, which I believe is open to everyone now. It used to be all international.
Right. Yeah, that's
now
how it
it's-
was
there.
Now it's all open, I think. But Most
So you
people
have
live
an
in the other
apartment by
three.
yourself?
No, I live with 5 other girls, actually.
Oh.
And it's
There.
3 bedrooms.
Yes, there's 3 bedrooms, 2 girls in each room, and there's a bathroom in each bedroom. The worst part is that we only have 1 fridge, but other than that,
Yeah.
it's pretty manageable because everyone has different schedules, so you're not all in each
It
other's
is
space all
rare
the time.
for 6 people to be in one place at one time.
Yeah.
Do you did you meet them ahead of time? Did you know who they were going to
No.
be?
Now this is there's for move-in day. There's no way to guarantee
Exactly.
who you're going to be with. Now you can request if you had a friend coming from home.
You go together.
Yeah, if you
show up at
go,
the same time.
you can request it. It's not guaranteed, but if you're waiting in line with each other in the move-in process, your names are going to be right next to each other on the list, and that's how they sort out.
Which is what William and I did. So we came
Yeah.
together, we drove down, and we checked in at Vista at the same time, and we knew we wanted to be in Chatham in a 1-bedroom, which meant it was just the 2 of us in that apartment. And so we got to do that. It cost more money, so everything's kind of like tiered. At least it was for me.
It's still-
So if there's 2 people per bedroom, but then there's a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, and a 3-bedroom. So the most you're ever going to have in an apartment is 6 people.
There's 4 bedrooms.
Yeah, they
Are there 4?
So, yeah.
Is it in Patterson?
Chatham.
Chatham has them
As far
too?
as I know, I'm not.
That's
not
like a little
sure.
mini
I know my
frat
friend
house.
from work
Yeah.
lives in
Yeah.
a
So
4-bedroom.
move-in day is one day for everybody.
No.
Nope.
It's
Yeah.
stretched out. Now there's multiple move-in days for each program. So let's say the program is January something to May something.
Okay.
The whole first 2 weeks of January, it's like every other day there's new groups coming in.
Okay, got it.
And the ones that were there before, look at all the new kids.
Okay. So whoever is with you or near you on the day that you're moving in, someone in that room is going to, or that group is
Right.
going to be.
You
your
have to have the same arrival and departure date as your roommates. So
roommate. And is it co-ed or not?
No, that I'm aware of.
Yeah. So what a lot of people do is they'll go on the boards, or I know Facebook as well, and they'll find a group of what their move-in date is, and then they'll start talking. They'll find, like, my roommate was a kid from Colorado, Garrett, and we met on Facebook and talked, figured out that we could live together. And so then once we got there on move-in day, like, we were together, we knew we were going to be together, and then we kind of just went through the line until we found 2 other people that we liked.
Oh, whoa, wait. You just like walking up down this line, looking,
Judging people.
Yeah,
Judging
kind of.
people.
Like, you don't walk forward, but you walk.
Can you turn around?
Step out, step
Hey,
to the
guys.
side, step forward.
Yeah.
Seriously, Jess, is it
Like-
like that?
it depends.
Is he lying?
If you want to. I mean, there's the line there. I was with one other girl we met on Facebook, and then we just got placed in a random apartment. So with 4 other girls,
I
which
didn't
ended
know
up
a
working
soul.
out really well. Like, we got really lucky. We have great roommates. We have a really good group. There hasn't been any problem at all the whole time. So
No major sluttiness or anything?
I knew maybe 2 people, and just from LSU, we weren't even friends, but I just recognized them. I drove down here, I didn't know a soul. It just,
Yeah.
I think that's the fun part of it, though. You
meet so many people.
new people, and three of the guys that stood in our wedding, I met on the college program.
Wow.
Kind of shows
That's
you
awesome.
how you meet really great people that are still in my life now.
Wow, okay.
it's
All
very
right, now
cool.
here's another question. You drove down. Did you come with a car?
I did bring my car, yes.
So there's parking and there's...
Yep. If you have the opportunity to bring a car, I always recommend it. There's parking at the apartment complexes, at work, everywhere. So
But if you don't
if
have
you
a car...
don't, they do have bus transportation, which is a good option too. It's for college program students only, back and forth from anywhere you need to go. The tricky part is that there's a lot of timing issues, and you could end up getting to work like 45 minutes before your shift starts, or missing the bus if you have to stay over. So
And the buses really don't go off property. If you want to take a beach trip for the day, you better have a friend.
Yeah, with
that's
a
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
you make
It-
friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And if you have a car, you're going to be giving everyone rides to and
Yeah.
from work.
That's when you charge
Bring an
for
SUV.
gas, right?
I just say, take the keys, buddy. I don't care.
That's when you start charging for gas.
yeah.
Is there a curfew in the apartments, or can you come and go as you want?
Not for people who live in Patterson or wherever you're staying. If you are staying within the same complex, there's no curfew. If you're staying in another complex or just a visitor in general, there is a curfew.
And they're very strict about
So,
that.
yeah.
Security's tight.
Yeah, you do. You have to show your ID every time you enter the complex, so it's very safe. You have to have your ID.
To get on the bus that goes into the property, you have to
Like
do
a
the same
resort
thing.
kind of a
and if
thing.
you have any friends or family coming over, even if
Gotta
they're,
sign 'em
you got to check them in. You got to sign them in.
and they have
Sign
to
up.
leave at a certain time.
Yeah.
And if they get caught spending the night,
You're in trouble.
you're in trouble.
in
And when
trouble,
by in
yes.
trouble, you don't get a slap on the wrist. They'll say goodbye.
Yep.
Yeah.
The next
Yep.
day, you're packing your bags.
All right.
I
pretty
know
much.
firsthand from that.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, really?
I was terminated from my program for breaking curfew hours.
Oh, no.
So, yeah,
It
they take
happens.
it very, very strictly.
Yeah.
See, I would think that of Corey, but
She's
not
pointing at
you.
me.
Well,
I just never got caught.
There you go. Okay,
There's a difference.
this is where a lot of the issues come in with some people. Like for me, I did it whenever I was 23. So I was already out of college. I was in graduate school whenever I did the college program. So it felt a little ridiculous to me that I was a 23-year-old getting told that I can't have visitors over after
Right.
midnight. So you have to take in mind, and they do lecture you on that first day. Like, you're working for Disney, you're
Right.
following Disney's rules now.
and that's the important part. You are working for Disney. Your look, you have to follow the rules. And when you sign up for this, you just have to you have to know going in that there are going to be rules, and if you don't follow them, goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just better to follow them.
Yeah.
Then there's really no point in trying to go off the beaten
Right.
path. Like, if you can just follow it and, like, do your best at it, you're going to
Right.
do a good job
Right.
ultimately.
And going back, Teresa, it's very safe. I mean, obviously, that I think parents can sleep at night knowing that it's very safe. The housing, I mean, just getting in and getting out, it's
It's quite a process.
Like,
It-
my
nobody
mom
off the streets
especially, she is all about safety,
Yeah.
so it's definitely comforting.
Can you be on the college program and not stay in the housing?
Good question.
Yep.
Yes.
Since I live here and my child lives here,
Yep,
Is that
she could live
okay?
at home if she wanted to.
if she wanted to. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have to find your own transportation.
Okay.
It is an option.
But it kind of puts you on the outside of
It does.
of
Yeah.
the-
Right.
of the-
If you live in the housing, it's more of the
Well, it's like any college. If you live in a
experience, yeah.
dorm.
Exactly. It's like
Yeah.
dorming.
Yeah.
But you have
Okay.
the option.
Now, not to keep asking questions,
It's okay.
but
No.
okay, you had said you were in Sean, you were in a two. Oh, it was just you and William.
Yeah.
Okay, and you said you had to pay more.
Yeah.
right?
So for me, I know specifically, I think per week it was $95.
So you have
that
to pay,
handled-
and this comes out of your pay.
Yeah.
And
they take it directly out of your paycheck.
Yeah,
Don't
so
have to
you
worry
never
about, and that's
even get the money.
utilities and
Corey's got
everything.
props.
Okay, this is a
Utilities
good
and
time I should bring this. I saved my first paycheck.
Yay.
Okay.
What'd you do with all
Got
that
it laminated.
money?
I'll tell you what I did with all that money. This was 97, so a lot of things have changed. 40-hour work week, 10 hours overtime after rent was taking out, which is $65 a week. Then I was staying. There was 6 people in that room. My take-home pay was $188.
That sounds like an average paycheck.
$188
A week.
Were you excited? Did this upset you, or were you excited when you got
Look,
this?
see, and I wouldn't come. I didn't come to the college program thinking I was going to go home with money. I showed up with no money. I left with no money. I came for the experience. For me, it was a paid spring break at Disney World. I was able to work for Disney, just living in Florida and meet all these great people. So the paycheck was just to feed myself, pretty much. It was a paid spring
and your
break.
mom filled in the rest.
One
My
thing,
credit cards.
did we even talk about the different seasons that you could work with your programs?
No, but we can touch
We
on
can
that.
do that.
Probably
Yeah,
should.
yeah. There's a bunch of different stuff. So there's spring and then there's fall. If you want to fill us in a little bit
Right.
on that.
Yeah, you pretty much have 4 options as far as that goes. You have spring, which is approximately January till May, and then spring advantage is January until about August.
Right.
Advantage pretty much just gives you the summer.
Right.
So when you do the fall, it's approximately May till December, January, and then if you just do fall, it's about August till December or January. So
So you're still going to school while you're working, correct? Or is this something?
Well, that's something we'll
it
get on.
depends.
Okay.
Yeah, Disney does offer some things, but
Right.
most people just have to take a semester off.
Yeah, a lot of people take a semester off. You can take Disney classes through Disney.
Okay.
Some schools give credit, some don't. Or you could do online classes through your school.
Right.
It depends on your own personal school situation. So
Okay.
on what you want to do.
I got no credit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, you're working so much that a lot of times, depending on your location, it's hard to fit in classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Before we get into that too much, we were still talking about the move-in and the housing. I just wanted to mention again the different options that you have for housing, and that's Vista Way, Chatham Square, the Commons, and Patterson Court.
Yes.
Any particular vibe you get at different ones that you want to bring up, or?
I'm favorable to Patterson because,
Yeah.
I mean, I live there, but in the past, everyone I talked to about the college program was always like, try and live in Patterson.
That's the newest one.
It's the quietest and it's the newest.
Well, how big are these?
These are massive apartment
They're big
complexes.
Pretty
complexes.
big,
How
yeah.
many students are we talking about total here? Do we
Oh,
know?
I have no idea.
I don't know, a lot.
Patterson and Chatham, along with the Commons, are in an area called Little Lake Bryan. Mm-hmm. And that's right next to Disney's recreational facility as well, which is, I forget what it's called.
Camp Mini, or no,
Mickey's Retreat.
Mickey's Retreat, yeah.
Yeah, Mickey's
Mickey in it.
Retreat. So it's all in that area behind the outlets over there on International.
Okay.
And Vista Way, you can see from I-4.
Yeah.
Like when you're passing Lake Buena
Right.
Vista area, you can see buildings at Vista Way right before you see the big Vistana sign.
Yeah.
It's near Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
important.
Vista Way is separate from the others, and it does definitely have a different vibe than the others. It can.
It's considered the party.
Yeah, because that's the one Grace asked me if you.
Yeah.
were
That's
at
where I
Vista
stayed
Way.
both times.
That's where I stayed. It was the
That
only
doesn't
choice.
surprise me.
No?
It doesn't.
Okay.
Well, one thing about Patterson, which is where I stayed as well, it gives you a false sense of security after your program if you decide to stay down here, because you will go looking all around Orlando to find someplace that is as nice and is well maintained and is, you know, it's not affordable really. Whenever you have two people in each bedroom, it's really affordable.
Yeah,
But Patterson, like, I thought that I was going to be able to find a place exactly like that, and those kind of places just don't exist
Right.
in
it's-
Florida.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
But
Is it all like Mickey themed? And
no.
It just looks like nice apartment
Just
complex.
apartments,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I was in Chatham, and I really like Chatham too. It's
Chatham is good as well. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people like it there.
quiet, nice, really well kept.
You have a pool.
They all have
Oh,
pools,
yeah.
hot
Yep.
tubs,
Yeah.
gyms.
Gym, yeah.
Okay.
It's a nice little spot, you know. Like they have it all there for you. So not
It's
a bad
move-in
deal.
ready.
It's
Yep.
move-in ready.
You're close to a Publix. You can walk. Mm-hmm. Not if you're getting a lot, but people did. I remember.
Electricity is included, so keep your air really low.
Oh yeah.
If you're at Vista, you're close to a Walgreens.
How about a
which-
phone? Is there,
Yeah.
is there a landline?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there
What's
is.
a
And there's kind of
landline?
like a 4-digit.
What's a landline?
You can call other rooms. Yeah.
Call other friends.
Do they still do inspections with white glove?
They do still
Yeah.
do inspections. You have to. Yep.
Oh, I got the white glove every time.
That never
good
happened.
job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise
They have
me.
inspections every couple months, so
Wow.
that's the thing to just make sure you keep it.
Do you know
clean.
when it's going to happen?
We've had a couple already, so they tell you. They're
Yeah,
like,
they-
on July 3rd, you're going to have your inspection in buildings, this, and this. So
It's a big,
We didn't have that.
big
ta-
poster up on
Yeah.
the main entrance.
I take it back. Actually, I got it every time except for the final one. And then
Where
the
you didn't
woman,
care anymore.
Yeah,
the
it's
woman
the
found
end.
a crumb in the freezer. We were so upset.
a crumb.
It was just a crumb.
It was Williams.
Because what they do.
I know it was.
It was. They give you a prize. They give you like I don't know if they still do, but
Stickers.
you got like candy or something like Ferrero
yeah,
Rocher.
they gave cookies
Yeah.
one time.
And sometimes in the beginning, I hated this. They took your picture and hung it on the bulletin board.
Like a shame.
Well, I think they were trying to congratulate you, but it had the opposite effect, I think.
Congratulations. You're like really clean.
A shame wall.
Okay, now another question.
Okay.
Okay, so there's like these apartment buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Are there, I know you're all adults, but are there like other older adults there too?
It's all college programs.
So there's no like,
Okay, but there are older students.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There are
So not
professional
like-
internships.
Right.
but what I mean is there's not like a,
There are mature students.
I want to say a house mother,
Yeah.
but there's not somebody there. like,
No,
You know what I
Mrs.
mean?
What's her name?
There's staff
Flex of Life.
there.
Okay, staff. Okay.
Right.
But
We have
the-
like the
like a
clubhouse
manager?
area. The clubhouse
Yeah.
area has like where you pick up your mail and everything. There are people there.
And there's
There's
maintenance to call.
people.
Security.
Okay,
There's
okay.
people around.
Security.
So it's not just like-
yeah.
Okay. Just
Right.
trying to
It's
get
not
a
like
picture.
Lord of the Flies or anything.
Living wise, it's all college program students.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. They're not knocking, doing a bed check at night or nothing. Okay.
And if you're 21 and under, they didn't have this when I was there, but I think now they have what you said they're called wellness apartments.
Wellness and non-wellness. Yeah, wellness is no alcohol. Even if you're over 21,
You can
you want
opt
to
for
live
that,
there.
What's
You can.
non-wellness?
Non-wellness is that
you can
alcohol's
have
allowed. You have to be 21.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Non-wellness?
And everyone in the apartment.
What's that tell you? That you should not have alcohol? Right?
Apparently.
Well, I mean, some people just don't want to do that, so they
you-
have the option. They don't want, you know,
be in that
if you're not into that, you don't want to be, you don't want your roommate to be some party animal alcoholic.
So you can make it. You can choose.
Yep.
I need someone who does not drink.
Well,
Right.
you can
Or I
also,
want someone that drinks a lot.
you can also do it for safety because, like, if one person gets caught underage drinking in your apartment,
Yeah,
everyone gets
you're
busted for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So if you want to protect yourself and not get fired, then you make
That's
sure
what happened
there's
to
no
you,
drinking.
too?
No, we didn't have that issue.
You just had sleepovers.
We almost said that. So just to kind of guide this along, you know, as we're talking about this process, we're talking about housing. The next thing you find out, and I'm sure our conversation is going to go all over the place, but I just want to kind of guide
You're
it.
looking right at me for that,
Yeah.
but okay.
The next thing you find out is your exact work location.
Yay.
And I believe you find that out not on your move-in day.
Check-in
but-
day.
we did find out on move-in check-in day. We waited in line, everything, and then they give you your program guide, and they're like, "Here's where you're working."
Yeah, and they'll
So
give you your
it's
first
exciting.
little schedule saying, you know, meet here for traditions and meet here for
Which is what?
That's a whole. That's
Yeah.
a whole
Just in
other
a little nutshell. What
topic.
it,
Basically, traditions is just the course that everyone that works at Disney has to go through.
It's the
Okay.
first day. It's your first day of training, pretty much. Everyone who works at Disney has to go to traditions before they can continue on.
So it's just
the
training.
most
Okay.
magical day of your life, pretty much.
Well, it used to be longer. But
Yeah.
You learn the
Yeah.
two-finger
Shorten it
point.
now.
You learn.
Yeah.
You just learn the Disney look, the
Disney
Disney
basics.
way. You
Disney look.
They're
Oh, Disney look.
Yeah.
Disney look.
I remember them going through the line at check-in and looking at girls' hair colors and pulling them out of the line, saying that color's not Disney look. You have to
Oh,
go-
the Disney. I thought you meant the way you look at people.
Well, yeah, I guess there's that one too.
Sparkly eye technique. You know.
no, like fingernail
Yeah.
Look, okay,
polish
okay,
color, your
got it,
haircut,
got it.
Right.
stuff
Yeah,
like that.
you have the
Right.
smize.
do they still do that at the Disney University?
Yes,
kinda-
ours is at Disney University. They introduced us to the company, the values, the traditions. That's why it's called traditions. It's a great day. They take you on a little field trip. You have a special visitor. You get your name tag.
Special visitor.
The name tag is
Yeah.
fun, and when you get your name tag,
It is
you
the
get your
best
ID.
moment.
It's supposed to be
Yeah.
fun unless they spell your college wrong. And then you have to get a new
Right.
one.
Yeah, I hope they didn't spell LSU wrong.
That happened to you.
It did.
sad.
I went to Shippensburg and it said Shippensberry with a Y at the end.
Well,
Going back a step, I forgot to ask you a
That's
question.
fine.
I'm sorry. Okay, when you get your acceptance and they tell you when you're going to be moving in, how much time is between that when you find out and when you move? Are we
I
talking
got
weeks, days?
accepted on October 8th, and I moved in on January 22nd.
Okay, so you have a little bit of time. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pretty much you tell school, like, hey, I'm going to Disney next semester. We'll get this all situated here.
Okay.
Then you got to pack and get yourself
Situate your
all
world.
ready.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Disney college program's the reason it took me 7 years to do a 4-year degree. Unfortunately,
And that,
'Cause you kept
that
coming
is
back.
okay.
just kept coming back. It is okay.
It is okay. It's worth it.
Wouldn't change it. But yeah, so like you said, traditions isn't the job specific stuff. It's all just the basic
It's
Disney.
the
Basic.
welcome
Yeah,
to Disney
yeah.
Okay,
day.
got it.
So everybody's on the same page.
right.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
and if
you'll-
you're not a big Disney fan, you'll feel like you're being brainwashed that day because that's
Right.
exactly what they do. So they even made fun of it on a Roseanne episode.
Oh, did they really?
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
official.
Yeah.
yeah.
I loved it. It was great.
Like, I loved it too because I've loved Disney all my life, but like there were some people in my room that you could tell they were freaking out because
Why
they
would
didn't
you
realize
be in the program if you weren't a
Exactly,
Disney fan,
yeah.
though?
because they hear that it's a
There's-
good time.
Yeah, you'd be
There's
amazed.
a lot of different people.
Yeah.
Like some people love it, and then some people are just kind of there.
I've seen people just leave, a few weeks in. They're like, no, this isn't for me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
people
common.
leave
You're
all
not-
the
yeah,
time.
You're not a Disney fan.
Really?
All the time. Yep.
They can't take the
Yeah.
look or what?
Self-term. Yeah, that's what at least we
Yeah.
called it.
Self-
Or, some people get
With
homesick.
termination.
Some people, it really
Issues come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Grace better stay when she's there. I'm not coming again.
yeah,
Okay.
she better stay.
I know one thing we had to do in traditions. Traditions you had to dress up, and we had to wear like
Yeah.
tie and nice
Yeah.
slacks, and we'd walk around the park. And I think one of the things we had to do was kind of look for examples of like cast members doing like
The 4 keys.
the 4 keys. See, That was
Yeah.
kind of fun. It was.
It is.
It wasn't keys when I did it. It was the basics, and then they moved to the keys, and then they
Well,
combined
4
them
keys
together.
basics
I know.
now.
Now
Yeah.
it's just this.
What's the 4 keys?
Safety, courtesy, show, and efficiency. Those are the basics that you're taught in traditions, and then they're carried out throughout your work location. And if you can focus on those in that particular order, it just creates a better product and outcome for the guests and for you as a cast member as well.
And for life in general.
Yes.
I got a tattoo of them.
Words to live by.
2 keys on each cheek. Wow.
So after traditions, you're going to get your. You also have your schedule for your first day of on-the-job training
Yay.
as well, and that's when you go to your specific location. Meet your trainer, get oriented with the area, and do that kind of thing.
Yeah, for
And you went-
concierge.
where did you go?
Well, I had to go to Disney University first. Our concierge is a different role. Like, we had to do a lot of training.
I can imagine.
So I think I counted like a total of 4 weeks throughout my program, not all in a row, but depending on the role. But we went to Disney University first, did that there, then had 5 days of on-the-job training. And we had to do that for front desk and then concierge, so they were 2 separate ones.
Wow.
For me, it was kind of similar. So I was merchandise. So the way we did it was we did traditions first, and then there was like a Magic Kingdom specific training where we
Right.
went into the park. And then for merchandise, I had to go to Disney University and do the register stuff, like in a classroom. And we would do like fake transactions and stuff like that. And that was a while. That was a couple days, I think.
Yep.
Fake
Oh yeah,
transactions.
also you were saying Magic Kingdom had their own particular. Every resort or park has their own specific like introduction day. Like Coronado Springs was Saludos Amigos, and they taught us the tradition of Coronado Springs
Right.
and what we have there. We walked around the resort, got to know it. So
Well, that makes sense. So you
Magic
know where
Kingdom-
you're
And
gonna-
William has Aloha Day at the Poly, so he does that.
Epcot is Discovery Day.
Mine was Once Upon a Time is Now.
Yes,
That's for
that's
Magic
still
Kingdom.
what it is.
Yeah.
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 I don't remember what Blizzard was.
Cold.
Save the people.
Go away. But our training was actual, lifeguard training, CPR training, and all that. And then after you passed all that, if you didn't pass, you're somewhere else. No telling. But after that, then you get your training on the park itself and on the job training.
And you were at Blizzard? Or
Blizzard
Typhoon?
Beach.
Blizzard Beach?
Attractions is all on the job. It's like get in there, learn how to do this.
Go.
Yeah. Push a button, man.
That's
Figure
when it
it out.
becomes real when you're in the park training.
So can I tell if I'm in the park or at a resort, you've all got the little name badges on with your little school.
And then the red.
How do I tell if you're training or if you're real?
You have your name tag, and then there's a little ribbon under it. It says "Earning My Ears."
Okay. I've never
And
noticed
that's
that.
when you're
okay.
training.
If you pull up that, I have I was going to say, we could pull up a picture of me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
You
me.
look like
at
you're 12.
Both my college programs. I'm wearing the name tag, and I'm wearing a red shirt, so you can't really see it, but there's the thing that says.
Right there. You look so happy
It's
in both
exciting
of those.
when you get to take that off and
Yeah.
How old were you?
now.
How old
Yeah,
were
I
you
look
in that one
miserable in both
little,
of those.
the little Epcot-y one? How old were you? Or whatever that is.
Epcot. That's Mission Space.
I was
Mission
like
Space.
20. I was 20 in the red Little Mermaid in the red outfit, and I was 21 when I worked at Mission Space.
Oh my God. You look like deer in headlights.
I think I was making fun of somebody. I can't remember.
Something.
Yeah.
Keep the beer.
It's just Teresa staring.
I'm just trying to. Good Lord.
So
Anyway,
yeah. So before we get into your college program specifically,
Yeah.
that you have.
What was that one you just flipped up there? Go back.
Well, we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
Before we get into your experience, Jess, we kind of just wanted to briefly share our experience.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yay.
So let's go down nostalgia row, starting with Corey.
Start with the old
I don't know
dude.
what you want to talk about. How was your experience on the college program?
Like I said, it was a paid spring break. We had a summer only option, so I didn't have to miss a semester of school.
That doesn't exist anymore.
That doesn't
by the way.
exist anymore, but it was
Yeah.
perfect. So I arrived in May, left in August. So it truly was a paid spring break. I've met a ton of friends. I became even more addicted to Disney than I was before. I was brainwashed Disney all my life. So
I've seen
you know,
pictures.
I didn't have to convince myself that I loved it. I was brainwashed from an early age. Just having the option to work at Disney. That's why I just got in my car, drove here, and didn't care that I didn't know a soul.
Yeah.
I didn't even care where I was going to work.
You're so brave. You're so
of course, I wanted to lifeguard, and I got that, and I was lucky. And I don't know if had I been stuck somewhere else, would I have had the same experience? I don't know. It's hard to tell. But this is a photo of the group of people from LSU.
Did you go back home at all during that time?
We had the Pepto-Bismol castle.
The cake.
Good times.
No, I didn't go home at all.
Did your parents come to visit you?
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I think they did.
It's all a blur.
It happened so fast.
Well, summer flies by. Like, mine flew by, and it was like 6 months, so
Yeah.
I can imagine.
So you're glad you did it, and you would recommend it.
I came back the following summer. The worst thing about the college program is going back to school afterwards.
Yeah.
That, you meet all these great people. They go to their own colleges. You go back to your college. You have your friends that you had before you went to the college program, and you're trying to explain your experience, and you say certain things like, we went to PI and Vista Way and cast member night, and they don't care.
You have your own language.
They can care less about what you're talking about. You try to show them pictures, and I think that was the hardest thing
They're
is getting back to reality.
Yeah.
After you leave the college
After you leave
program.
the bubble.
Yeah. So I mean, I came back summer '98. Wasn't on the college program. I just hung out with all the college program people and lived off property somewhere.
Seriously? And you were a lifeguard again?
Yeah, went back to Blizzard. I called the managers at Blizzard. I said, "Look, I'm coming back for the summer. Can I lifeguard?" Sure. Just need to get retrained on CPR, and then went back to school. I'm like, all right, I'm moving. After this, I'm moving. So diploma in one hand, U-Haul in the other. 2000, I was here.
2000.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Your story is very similar to mine in a way. I did 2 years in a row. I did the exact same program. Yeah. Did the exact same program from January to May. Second time around, got a little wiser, brought a car, brought a friend,
Cars are nice. Friends are nice.
Yeah, brought friends the second time.
Yeah. But same as you. I mean, as soon as I graduated college, boy, I had the diploma in one hand. I was down here working full time for Disney. But no, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I had to do it in the exact right time because it was right before I was starting my 4-year degree, and I hadn't made friends in college yet with all my classes. So I said, you know what, I want to take these 2 semesters and do this while I still have a chance. And I think that's good, especially for kids in college. Do it early on before you make too many friends in college.
Do you think coming down and doing the college program gives you an opportunity to work for Disney? It's easier to keep your foot in the door.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
They definitely
If you
look at
want to work professionally at Disney, you pretty much have to do the college program. Like, obviously there are the exceptions, but any manager you talk to, like, probably the majority of them have done the college program.
Really? When did it start? Do we know?
In the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
That wasn't a
been
tradition.
Come on, Teresa.
What? I just
It's been
some
around
history
for
here.
a long time.
Okay, as long as you've been
Yeah.
alive, probably.
Yep, absolutely. Longer, I think.
I just wonder.
What about you, Sean?
Yeah.
Mine was pretty similar. I did it when I was a sophomore. So, I had William and I both knew that we wanted to do it. I went to school in PA and he went to school in Texas. And so we both applied and we came down together. I really wanted attractions. So that was my first pick. And I made the mistake of mentioning that I had worked at Walmart for like 3 years to the interviewer lady. And I told her about Black Friday, and then instantly I was put in the Emporium, where it is like the most high traffic store. So that was my mistake. But I mean, I was very happy there. And so, like I said, I came down with William, and we got room together, and I think we saw each other for the first week. And then I didn't see him again until August when we were packing up.
Really?
Because
what was he
both
doing?
You get busy.
You get very busy, but you make your own groups of friends.
You do.
So, like Corey was saying, once you're in a different role, he was in attractions in Epcot.
Oh, this is odd, by the way. Before me and Sean ever met, William worked at Mission Space.
He did the program right after you.
He was, as I was checking out, he was checking in, and we have a lot of mutual
My other
friends.
current roommate, Jessie, is an old friend of yours. when
She
you
was
did
on
the
my program.
Yeah, so kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Small world.
you
It
realize
is.
that a lot with Disney, though. You really,
It's a small world down
Yeah,
here.
especially with cast
Seriously. Yeah. So if you know somebody, they're going to know pretty much. Like,
Right.
everybody knows everybody eventually.
Yeah.
And when did you come down, Sean?
This was in January of 2009, and I did the Spring Advantage, so I was here until August of 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, we you're different roles. You're in different parks. You have different schedules. So in the Emporium, I work nights. So I would go in sometimes at like 6, 7, 8 at night and then stay until like 5 a.m. sometimes with extra magic hours. So we had opposite schedules, so we wouldn't see each other. And then we had different friends and we did other things. And so, yeah, but it was a perfect experience. I'm still very, very good friends with a lot of people.
Yeah.
That was great about lifeguarding is that, once the water parks closed, you're
out.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nights were off every
Very different from Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
what you were doing. Okay. How about Craig?
Yeah.
Oh, how about me?
I want to hear what you did, son. Oh, look how
your test track.
innocent.
Yeah,
My little
Look at that.
that was me.
so sweet.
I was
Skinny and no hair.
40 pounds lighter and no hair. But no, as I said earlier, I applied. Well, first I applied whenever I was just graduated college, and I don't think I got in. I don't remember which part I bombed, but I was one of those rare exceptions that actually failed to get into the college program. And, well, there are
They
a
didn't
lot.
tell you why?
I'm sure they did. It's a blur.
We're learning a lot about Craig right now.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I'm loving this. Okay.
Blacked out for most of his life.
But yeah, so then I reapplied again whenever I was in graduate school because it was something that I really wanted to do. And I figured what better time. I was doing online graduate school, so I could still go get my master's while I was working at Disney. So I applied, got in, and came down in the fall of 2010. And I kind of had a weird, just a weird experience there compared to everyone else. Like, I always heard everyone works lots of overtime hours and they never have a social life, but I got scheduled basically 3 to 9 every night at Test Track. So I got to sleep in and I stayed out late and
Have sleepovers, and that's why you got kicked out.
my goodness. No, I
Why are you going to bring up old stuff?
I just want to know what my daughter doesn't want to do.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
That's
does.
that's part of it. It happens to everyone. You'll know at least one person who gets termed for something stupid
Yep.
while you're down here. I mean, it happened to me, but and I loved it. So as soon as my roommates finished their program in December or January, whenever, I hooked up with one of them and I made plans to move back down. So the week has ended. I moved back down. We got a place, and then I started working at Universal until started working here. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's interesting.
I'd recommend if you're in college and you have this dream of working for Disney, you say, I'm going to finish college, I'm going to go work for Disney, do the college program.
Yeah.
You have to.
Get a taste of it. See if it's for you. It might not be. Chances are, if you're a Disney fan, it is. But just check it out before.
And for me,
Yeah.
it was a little different because it was a lot easier to go to seasonal. So I actually stayed on as seasonal when I finished my program. And I was seasonal up until October of this past year.
Which means what?
So seasonal casual is a certain type of employment. It's, you have full-time, part-time, and then seasonal. The requirements are different now than they were. It used to be 40 hours a year. Now I think it's 150.
150 hours
and
a year.
they check it on a rolling basis every quarter. So it
How can you
kind
live
of,
on that?
Well, it's
Well, no,
for
this
people
isn't
that
It's
are,
just for.
I was in
like-
college and I had a full-time job.
You just
So
wanna
Yeah, just
not
on the
stop
side.
working.
I just wanted to be a cast member.
You
I mean,
still wanted to be
yeah.
the okay, got it.
I wanted to still be in the company.
I thought you were trying to live on that. I'm like, oh my god, how do you do that?
No. I wouldn't even live here at the time. I was in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you can come
So-
down in the summer or
Yeah.
over Christmas break just to get your hours in.
Right.
Just so you
Okay,
can keep
got it,
your
got it.
cast member.
But it's a little
status.
stricter now, and I don't know how easy it is to switch over. I know it depends on how busy your location is.
Yeah.
So I think the Emporium, I think they switched over to like a number limit. So they would pick like 5 or 6 people out of every program. Mm-hmm. So
It depends.
Very cool.
Interesting. So
I think it's interesting how all of us, our stories and, like mine, I have a photo album of how I've documented mine. I have these little things I have in the
You
in the
keep
safe at home.
and you pull it out and look at it.
Yeah,
and then Dustin doesn't even remember.
dust it
his.
off. But the way you've been documenting it,
Right.
I think is incredible. I mean,
Thank you.
People are living vicariously through you. Even people that are not wanting to do the college program, and
Right.
I just think it's amazing. I mean, what you've done here is just unreal.
Thank you.
Did you have a
It's so
plan? Were you going to
organized.
do that from the very beginning?
Well, I had been writing trip reports about my vacations to Disney, and I started that back in January 2011, and I'd finished one, start another one. And
Right.
so I already had people reading. And like when I was little, I used to be like the little girl who'd like write like a little diary about like what you do during the day. And then I was like, you know what? Like I have this going for me on the DIS. And I love doing the pictures thing. I love writing about Disney. So I was like, I might as well just put it right on here.
Yeah.
And it has been going ever since day one. Like, I did not expect, like, I still can't believe that I'm here right now. I did not expect it to get as much traffic as it did. But it's an experience. It's incredible. I'm so excited.
One of my main questions for you is, where do you find time to do all of this?
Well, if you notice, I have not written anything since May 16th, so it's gotten busy. At the beginning, I just had time, I guess. I don't know. What I do now, since I'm behind, I write it and email it to myself, so I have everything written, so when I have time to go back and post it, I can, but it gets tricky. I can't believe I'm still like keeping up with it, but I knew going into it, I was like, I'm not going to start this and then stop it. Like, I have to stick it out and finish it. Not that I don't want to, because I love it. Like,
and it's
I just
documented.
love writing.
You had it's so documented. I wish I had something like that from mine, because everything's just I'm trying to put together pieces of what I did, and to have something like that, I have to call up my friends. Like, do you remember doing this?
Yeah,
Not
like
really.
I love it because I can be like, what I do on March 22nd? Click it. Oh, that's what I did. Like,
exactly.
And then I go back and read it, and I'm like, I don't even remember that. And now, I'm like,
but that's
my
awesome,
God,
though.
that happened.
When I was on my first college program, I think I had a journal, one of those black and white little journals, and that lasted about 3 days.
Yeah, that's how I usually am, but not here.
No, that's amazing. And I mean, is this something that you're interested in doing? Is writing something that you've always done or found passion for? I
have always written, I guess. Like, not as much as you probably would think. I mean, when I was little, I used to like write my own little Disney guidebooks, and I had a dream about it, or the dream to be a writer, like when I was 8, and then I was like, whatever. But I don't know. It's just happened, I guess. I used to read trip reports before I would write them, so I'd figure out like what kind of style I like, and then I just took my own personality, put it in there, and I don't know. So it's just a lot of fun.
Clearly,
I love it. Like, I know it's a ton. It's an incredible amount of time, but I love it, and I love being dedicated to it. And I just do it because I like to write and like to share the stories and everything. So,
do you receive a lot of questions, like personal questions, in addition to the posts that come on the boards? Are people contacting you through private message, asking you? Yeah,
all the time. Yep. Yeah. So I do my best to respond. It gets tricky, though.
Is it mostly parents, like Teresa blowing up your private message, or is it, or is it other like college kids saying, I'm thinking about doing this, or is it just?
It's a little bit of everything. I have parents with kids who are like young children asking about it, asking
because they're Disney fanatics,
and they're like, I hope my kids will do the college program. Then there's people who ask about like restaurants or upcoming events at Disney, or just college program in general, like anything you could think of. So I just do my best to answer
because in addition to college program, you are everywhere on property. I don't know if have you
I don't sleep. Really.
Is there anything? I know your program's coming to an end soon. Is there anything you haven't done that's still on your Disney bucket list?
There are. We were actually talking the other day. We want to do like an awkward attraction day, because stuff like Hall of Presidents or the Riverboat and Liberty Square, the Speedway and Tomorrowland, like stuff like that, we just pass by.
Right.
Like, I would love to do every attraction before my program ends.
Wow.
So that would be cool. I'm pretty good. There's just like those kinds that I haven't done yet. So I've done them before, but not on my program. So, and I haven't been to Blizzard Beach yet. I know. I need to do that. So, yeah.
Corey's heart there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going. I'm going to go, I promise. I just have to figure out a day.
So while you're on the college program, I mean, what is that your favorite thing to do? Kind of just spend time in the theme parks?
Yeah, you find your friends who love it as much as you do.
Yeah.
If you do have a passion for it like I do, you kind of gravitate towards those people, and then you just go and you do like everything, and My favorite thing personally to do is to go and have character hunting days.
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah, that is my favorite. If
a
you
huge
haven't
thing.
noticed, but like when you're on vacation, you meet characters here and there, but when you're on the college program, stuff like that you have time to do.
Right.
So we'll just go to Magic Kingdom, start in the morning, go till they stop meeting, and meet everybody, and it's so much fun. That is my
And you'll
favorite.
just wait in the lines. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like I
Looking
remember
for the most obscure characters possible.
and I remember, like, the first week of my program, the line for Be Our Guest for lunch was, like, 40 minutes. And we were like, you know what? We really want to go. So we waited, and we had time, you know. That you have the gift of time, which is my favorite thing about it.
And the gift of
So-
Disney right in your backyard.
Exactly.
And you get in for free.
You get in for free, so it's the best thing ever.
Do you call your parents?
I call my mom every day.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
cool.
do.
That's such a mom thing. Did you forget about us?
No, my mom and I are best friends,
Okay,
so
cool.
we talk all the time. I talk to my dad too. So
That's good.
yeah,
That's good.
My mom loves to visit, so we get good resort discounts as a cast member,
Yeah.
dining plan too. So
Good. Okay.
yeah, it's very good.
Good question, I thought.
No, it is. It is.
Do you want
forget
Grace
about your
to call you or no?
Really? You have to call your parents. No, call me.
Well, I think we had we line up some questions
Yep.
as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have some questions for you from some different folks.
Yeah, I
So-
apologize. I didn't write down some of the names, but I did get the questions. Here's one. Did Walt Disney World lose some of its magic now after you've been on the inside and seen what's been going on?
I get asked that all the time, actually, and I have to say that it is so much more magical now for me. I don't know why, but for me, like, knowing backstage stuff is
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
more magical than just being on stage, you know? Because now, like, my life has a different perspective on the whole thing. When you're a cast member, you realize, like, the guest perspective and then the cast member perspective, and it's eye-opening, and if you have the passion for it to begin with, you just learn to love
Right.
it even more, you know.
Exactly.
So I love it. I'm so happy I had the opportunity to do this, so it's been great. It's still magical every day. So
Going off on that, what aspects do you appreciate more? Like, if you understand that question, I kind of do.
Right.
Like,
I'm such an entertainment girl. Like, I love the shows. I love the characters. And, like, just going to see them, like, you know, you just look at it differently because,
Yeah.
you know, it's still magical. Like, even if you're backstage and you see a princess or whatever, like, anybody who works at Magic Kingdom is still like, oh my God, there's Ariel. Like,
Yeah.
just, you know, it's like, but then, like, seeing it on stage and, like, going to Fantasmic or something, it's just like you think about it so much more and appreciate it. So, I don't know. That's, like, my favorite thing, pretty much.
cool. Have you gotten homesick since you've been gone? Yeah.
I did get very, very homesick, which is surprising because I never thought I would. But I did. I was having a lot of, like, personal stuff going on. But then I went home mid-May. No, early June. I went home for, like, a week. And something snapped, and I was fine, and I came back, and it has literally been better than it was before.
Just had to recharge your batteries.
Yeah.
You know.
And, like, you know, like, people get so, like, overstimulated, and, like, it happens, you know, even for me. Like, I love Disney, but at a certain point I was like, oh my God, I need a break. Like, I'm tired. But once I got it, I was back and better than ever. So it happens. It happens to everybody pretty much.
And
so.
if you're clever enough, you know you can kind of work around and find ways to find that vacation time, those big chunks of vacation.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Like, for me, like, you figure it out. You know, if you really need to go home, you can request off. You can switch your shifts, or if you can't go home, like, go to the beach for a day. I did that too. That was awesome. Like, I don't do a lot of non-Disney stuff, but it is fun to do that too. So.
And one last thing. What is your ultimate Disney dream job?
Ultimately, entertainment, obviously. I've said that probably before.
Yeah.
And I would like to get into a management position in entertainment, but who knows?
Yeah.
You never know. You can have your dreams and goals at Disney, but they are going to throw you a curveball during your whole journey. I know that I'm going to end up doing things that I don't expect.
Right.
And it's
at
also
all.
there's also a lot of patience involved in that. Like
So
you're
much.
you're not gonna come here and finish college program and jump right into your, unless you're very lucky, unless the stars line up just the way you want them. You have to be patient and keep
Very.
working at it and
Yeah.
you'll get there.
And if you do a professional internship, that helps a lot too. That's one of my goals for when I finish college. I do want to do a professional internship, but that could help you find your way into like one of the higher up career jobs instead of just like a
Something
college
more
program
specifically
one.
tailored to what it is you're going for.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. But to work at Disney, you have to start college program level, like frontline job, because you have to get your foot in the door, and that way you know what like these cast members are dealing with, whether you want to be like a top manager or whatever, you have to start at the bottom.
It gives you a great perspective, and we hear that a lot from a
Absolutely.
lot of the people that we meet, like Kevin Kidney and Imagineers that we speak to. They all start. Even John Lasseter was a cast member working on that.
Yeah,
Jungle
there's
Cruise.
some-
It gives you such a good perspective.
There's
on-
some higher ups like that did like parking or merchandise. Like my one manager did merchandise in Fantasyland with the little cart, and now he's a manager. So it's.
I think about my
cool.
sister. She started off lifeguarding, and then she always wanted to be in entertainment. And from lifeguarding, she started working. Sorry, Anna, if I get these in the wrong order, I'm sure you'll correct me. That she started working guest relations, and then Keys to the
Yep.
Kingdom. Or maybe she was entertainment before that, and
Right.
then a VIP tour guide. And now
That's
she's
another dream job. That's awesome.
And then now she's at Golden Oak, and now she's a
Oh.
Legacy Award winner. So
Wow, that's
starting at
awesome.
lifeguarding, she's worked her way up, and no telling where that's going to bring her. But
Exactly.
but she's patient. She's patient. She's working through it,
Yeah.
and she knows at time, with
It's a
given just
journey.
amount of time, she'll get to where.
Absolutely.
It's a journey. Is it ever going to pay off and pay the bills?
Well, this is
It-
what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know. I mean, how long has she been doing it?
Hello, Debbie Downer.
How long is
Anna can pay the bills.
How long has Anna been doing this?
I don't know. She's 6 years younger than me. When was Katrina? She moved in here. She moved here
2005.
after college. Then, so she's been.
you make it work.
Yeah, it's just like any career in any other company, and depending on the person, if you have that passion, and
Yeah. And the thing with Disney too is if you're full time and everything, you get benefits as well, so it can even out there. And if you really have the passion for it and you want to do this, and if you want to end up like making a career out of it and getting one of the higher jobs, you just work your way through, So
And some people are happy enough in that
Yeah.
entry level role. I mean, I was lifeguarding with people, and they were professional lifeguards. This is their job, and
Yep, I work with so many people, concierge, like that's their job, and that's awesome.
They're fine with it. They don't look anywhere else. They're comfortable with it. They've maxed out their pay. I think there's a such thing as maxing out your pay at Disney.
All right, I have a question.
Yes.
How did you come up with the name for your thread? The Frump Girl.
All right, Frump. It's been
Whatever
around.
it is. I'm not sure. What's it called? Frump Style.
Yeah, Frump has been around since I started my first trip report, January 2011. My friend and I came up with the term. When you usually hear that word, it can be like a negative context. Like,
Yes. That's where I have it in my head.
which surprises a lot of people. But the way we took it, it's more of somebody it's more of a lifestyle. Like, you just enjoy what you're doing. Like, we particularly enjoy Disney, and you just like shamelessly love it. You just have fun. You don't care what other people think about you. And it just kind of gives you an excuse to just be your crazy self, So, like, I just go all out all the time, like, have fun, like, super enthusiastic. So, it's pretty much that.
Frump.
And I know, everybody asks me to explain it, and it's hard to, but when you use it in context, after a while, you just kind of know what it is. Like,
Okay.
it can be a noun, adjective, verb,
Right.
everything. So
All those things. Okay.
everything. So it's a universal term, but
Okay.
it's lots of fun.
Well, I think that passion that you're talking about there clearly comes across on your thread.
Thank
and, and that's why it's become so popular. Everybody wants to live vicariously through your passion and love for Disney, especially on the DIS boards. So this has been amazing, and we have loved having you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
It's been so fun. It's great meeting all of you and everything.
Informative.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, that is going to do it for this very special episode of the DIS Unplugged. We hope you all enjoy it, and we will see you again with another episode of the DIS Unplugged. Have a great week, everyone.